Brandon, can you hear me? Hi, this is Don Cooper from Principal Financial Group. Appreciate you coming into the session today. Today, we're going to talk about how to cross-sell just using a census that you already have. And everything that I will be discussing today, I have been doing for the past few years with many benefit advisors, retirement advisors who sell 401k and health insurance advisors. And it's a really easy way just to get a conversation started with the business owner. So if you look at advisors who sell group benefits, retirement plans, health insurance, you already have access to the census of employees. And this census contains a wealth of information where you can uncover so many opportunities and to help the conversation get started with the business owner. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few questions to be able to ask the business owner to get the conversation started, and how Principal's business owner platform can help you on a consultative approach, and how this goes all the way back to taking a look at the census and how you can approach your business owner client. The easiest questions to start with any business owner that you have is there a buy-sell agreement or is there a partnership agreement? Now, usually, you would think that it would be a yes or no answer, but a lot of times the business owners think agreement when they actually don't. I've been with business owners who said that they had a buy-sell agreement, and essentially they're showing me their articles of incorporation, or they show me two signatures on a cocktail napkin. So if they have a buy-sell agreement and they say yes, you want to just see if it's truly a buy-sell agreement. Well, if they do have a true buy-sell agreement, then the question is the company liquid or not liquid? So that if a business, one of the business owners were to pass away, would that business still be able to be an ongoing entity? Would the surviving business owners have to borrow money? Would they have to take money out of assets under management? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to them about utilizing life insurance as a leverage. If the company is not liquid, if the company is liquid, rather, there's not a company around that's looking to unexpectedly spend 5 million, 10 million or more on a deceased partner's estate. So again, we're going to talk to them about utilizing life insurance. Then the next question would be, well, you have this buy-sell agreement, right? How is it funded? Now, we just talked about if it's just funded with the company assets. Well, if it's already funded with life insurance, then we can do a really nice policy review, because we're going to review, if we take a look at the buy-sell agreement, we can review the insurance as well. And again, when was the last time the agreement was reviewed? And another question, do you know how much your business is worth? So one, do you have a buy-sell agreement? If you do, how is it funded? Three, when was the last time it was reviewed? And four, do you know how much your business is worth? So if we take a look at the answers that we can help you with this, well, if you don't remember, the first question was, do you have a buy-sell agreement? Well, if you do, one of the things that we can do is principal can do a complimentary buy-sell review. So what we do is we take a look at the buy-sell agreement, and the attorneys, who are all employees of principal, so nothing is third-partied out, will review the buy-sell agreement. And basically, the review will consist of a synopsis of the buy-sell agreement, in addition to comments and recommendations. Now, this buy-sell agreement, once we have it reviewed, and it takes roughly about 12 to 15 business days to review, once it's done, we can have you as the advisor on the line. We can have the clients on the line. We can have the client's attorneys on the line. Whoever you want on the line, we can do, again, because it's a nice consultative approach. Now, if your client does not have a buy-sell agreement, what we can do is we get on the line, figure out the type of company it is, and what would be the best type of buy-sell agreements, because there are several types. And we would email you a specimen buy-sell agreement. And what we can do is we'll get you and your clients on the line, again, with one of our attorneys from the home office, and discuss what a buy-sell agreement is, explain to them that it's kind of, that a buy-sell agreement's like the will of a business, and talk about the triggering events in a buy-sell, and what all these triggering events, why they should be put into the buy-sell, and everything else that goes along with that. So essentially what we're doing is we're saving your clients a lot of attorney fees, because we're giving them this foundation of knowledge. And then when they go into their own when they go to their own attorney to draw up the buy-sell agreement, they'll already kind of know some questions to ask. And before they sign on the dotted line, they can then send us a copy of the buy-sell agreement. And again, we can put in comments and recommendations, so that they're really just not necessarily at the mercy of their attorney, but we can offer them a complimentary second look. And what we'll do is we'll show different combinations of life insurance products to fund the buy-sell, because nothing has to be all term, nothing has to be all permanent. A lot of times we'll do a combination of term and a combination of permanent. And actually, on a couple of our different life insurance products, we do have what we call an option 3. And this option 3 is where the death benefit is equal to the face amount plus the premium. So if I have $1 million face amount, my premium's 5,000. My death benefit is $1,005,000. Next year it's $1,010,000. So the beauty on that is that whenever if an owner dies, then the existing partner will have 100% cost recovery, because they'll have the face amount that's needed to pay out the deceased insured's estate and deceased partner's estate, and still get all their money back. And we can do that again with a combination of term and a combination of permanent. And remember that if we use a cash value policy, that cash value is an asset to the company, whether it's a cross sell or the company owns it. That cash surrender value is an asset. And a lot of times what happens is at the end of 10, 11 years or so, the net average annual outlay of the surrender value is less than what a term premium would cost. So there's a lot of flexibility in what we can show there. So again, doesn't have to be all term or all permanent. Another that other question that we have is, do you know how much your business is worth? And what Principal will do is you fill out a form, it doesn't even need to be signed, and give us 3 years of corporate tax returns, and we will do a complimentary business valuation. Now, it's not an IRS approved valuation, but we do come within 90% of what a certified valuation analyst would come out with. And what we do is we normally will show 5 different methods of valuating the business, and then highlight the method that's mostly associated with that type of business that we're evaluating. And the nice thing about this is once we agree, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute, is once we agree on the valuation of the business, should a formal app be sent in, then our underwriter will accept that valuation from a financial underwriting standpoint. So the nice thing is that you don't have to go back to your client and say, hey, you got a super preferred, but they'll only underwrite you for $5 million and not for $8 million. So one of the ways to look at the valuation is kind of like a preliminary financial underwriting approach, the same way that you may do preliminaries for medicals. So you know what the underwriting offer is. Well, this is kind of like a preliminary for financial underwriting. And the nice thing about this is that there's a lot of pivot points to this, meaning if we started out trying to determine the amount of insurance needed to fund the buy-sell, well, then you wind up getting into questions whereby, do I have some kids in the business, other kids who are not in the business? Do I have any employees that, if they were no longer with the company, would have an adverse effect on the valuation of my company? Maybe I'm a 60% owner of a $20 million business, so there's another $12 million I have to think about. So maybe there's a federal or state estate tax issue. Maybe want to get into ESOP conversations. So almost no matter where you want to have a conversation with a business owner, evaluation's a great way to start. And what we do is, once the CPA from Principal did the valuation, and this takes roughly about 7 to 10 business days, we'll get you on the phone with that CPA to discuss the numbers. And then either on that call or on a subsequent call, we will also have, we can also have the client CPA on the phone, the client on the phone, whoever you want on the phone. And if, we say that the business is worth $5 million and they think it's worth $7 million, well, that'll be another phone call to determine where that differential is coming from, or why the business owners think that there is a differential. And basically, a lot of times that there's a reason for substantial differential is because the business owner is saying, hey, I own the building that the business is in, but we didn't know that when he first did the valuation. So if we redo the valuation and we agree it's worth 7 million, then you're good to go. But again, if we're pretty adamant that it's worth 5 million and not worth 7 million, again, it's easier to temper the client's expectations prior to an app being taken than after. We also do roughly 2,000 valuations per year, and we have a 45% close ratio. And this ratio is only on businesses. It doesn't count estate planning. It doesn't count just regular income replacement insurance. So we're probably closer to a 52% close ratio. And again, all these valuations are done in-house. There is no third party here. So between the buy-sell, between the business valuation, those are some good answers to the succession questions. And as a matter of fact, if a business owner says, hey, we already have an insurance policy funding our buy-sell agreement, well, not only can we do the buy-sell review, to review that, which we always want to do anyway, make sure it's the same owner, same percentage of ownership and what have you. But this is also a much more professional way of doing a policy review because, one, they probably don't even know if they're in the 8th year of a 10-year term policy. And number two, by doing the valuation, we can at least make sure that the amount of insurance that they have is adequate or not. So again, a much more professional way to do a policy review and doing a consultative approach. The second thing where we can present with the business owner is supplemental retirement income. And the real question is, have you maxed out your contributions on your qualified plans? Now, if the answer is no, really the first step is to maximize all the qualified plans. You want to maximize the 401k, you want to maximize a SEP plan or any other type of qualified plan first. If the answer is yes, that you did maximize your qualified plans, then we can go in and we can see which concept works. And which concept is going to work is going to depend on the structure of the corporation, because there'll be something for LLCs, there'll be another thing that we can do for S Corps, there'll be other concepts that we can do for C Corps. And all of these involve the use of cash value life insurance. And again, not a sales, it's a consultative approach, so that the products are really just a means to an end. So you want to take a look at what the structure is of the company. But any of these concepts that we do, we already have any type of sample documents. Again, like with the buy-sell review and the business valuation, you can have, as well as your client, can have discussions with our attorneys and with our CPAs. And the beauty of this is that all these concepts that we're utilizing for the business owner all have complementary plan administration to them. So again, you don't have to go out and use a TPA. The third thing is, on key person and employee retention. So we can identify in looking at a census um, based upon salary and job description, where we can go to the business owner and say, look, we've identified these people as your key people. And so we could talk to them and ask them, the business owners, again, if the key executive's no longer with the company for whatever reason, would your valuation be adversely affected? And what we're going to do is we can talk to them about different non-qualified plans. Now, a non-qualified plan basically will allow the business owner to pick and choose which employees that they want to participate. And actually, we can do a different plan for different employees. So we don't have to stick, like, for an example, an executive bonus and give it to everybody. We can have one person get an executive bonus. We can have another person get a deferred comp, what have you. So we have a few different plans, again, that's each using permanent life insurance as the funding vehicle. And one plan is not better than another. They're just different. And each plan has various degrees of golden handcuffs to them. And each of these plans we have specimen documents, and again, complementary plan administration. As a matter of fact, if we're doing a split dollar plan, a lot of times if you have a large number of employees, 10, 15, 20, what have you, each with a separate split dollar plan, a lot of times you have to go to a third-party administrator and pay them to administrate the split dollar plan and do the tax reporting to the IRS. We do that automatically. And so we can certainly save money on TPA fees. And we're administering over 21,000 plans at no charge. And so we've been doing this over the past 20 years or so. And actually what this complementary plan administration also allows you to do is it allows you to go online and view your principal policies, much like you would view your 401k or your group plans. It would show the name of the company. It would give you the list of employees, their policy numbers. If there's cash value associated with it, they would give you the cash value as of today, as well as you can go back in time, see what the cash value was as a certain date. You get your own benefits administrator with their direct contact information, who is a employee of principal that can answer whatever questions that you want, so you don't have to be stuck in a toll-free number trying to get a hold of everybody. But to me, the most important thing is every single concept that we do is delineated on the screen. And the reason that that's important is because if any legislation comes down the pike that affects a concept, not only will we be able to notify you of the change in legislation and how to get your clients in compliance with the legislation, but we're like one of the only financial services companies that will proactively give you a list of your clients who are affected by the legislation. So not only does that help you to fulfill your fiduciary responsibility that you have to your clients, but just as importantly, the client's fiduciary responsibility that they have to their partners and their employees. So it's not just a matter of a consultative approach before the sale and during the sale, but it's also monitoring how your policy is doing after the sale. Now, we can also tell by looking at the census is maybe with these employee plans that we're doing key person or retention plans or what have you, maybe they'll fit into our guaranteed issue program. And we have a very unique guaranteed issue program where it consists of term and permanent. And the amount of insurance is predicated on the number of lives and whether it's employer or employee owned. So when you take a look at the top where you see the term, we have both 10 and 20-year terms, and actually during the first 5 years, they're convertible to any permanent plan that we're currently offering on a guaranteed issue, which now is all of them. And if you have 25 lives is the minimum. All the employees have to be making at least 75,000 or more in salary. And we need 100% participation of the eligible group, but we can figure out who that is and carve them out. And the cool thing is that if it's employer owned, whether on term or permanent, we can actually have a master application with just the business signing the applications and any illustrations and all those other forms. All we would need from the employees is just one form, which is the consent to be insured form. Now, where we need a minimum of 25 participants for term, we only need a minimum of 10 participants for permanent, which is either UL, index UL, or variable UL. And again, based on number of lives and whether it's employer or employee owned. And we can actually max out up to $5 million death benefit per individual. And we can mix within the guaranteed issue, the UL. So maybe some people want a VUL, some people want an IUL. We can mix and match products, which is very unique. And as long as we have at least 25 people, we can do a combination of term and permanent. So if we had, let's say, 30 people, we can do 25 term because we always need a minimum of that, but we can still do permanent only on 5 of those people. So there's a lot of flexibility within this guaranteed issue program. We went through that. So basically, what are we doing is if you can give us a copy of the census, there are 2 narratives that you can use to meet up with the business owner. So if you're doing 401k or qualified plans, you can just say to them, look, you've taken care of all your employees with this 401k. Perhaps you're only benefiting from 75% of the 401k. So let's talk about what we can do for you. And from the health and benefits side, different narrative is, look, you've taken care of your employees. What could we do for you? And again, you give us a copy of the census, and we'll put in about succession planning. We'll put in about key employee. And if it fits, we'll put in about guaranteed issue. You know, another way to start for those that are dealing with executive benefits is a lot of times when you're doing a voluntary insurance, you can't get as much as you want from the group. So you can go in to talk to the business owner and basically offer them just individual term or individual permanent for additional life insurance, which a lot of times is less expensive than the voluntary life that the business is offering. So you can go in and just offer them that supplemental coverage. So no matter which way you want to go in, there are different items that you can discuss with the business owner. And with the census, we're really giving you this whole um, script, if you will, and talking points on what to do. And we do have specimen buy-sell agreements. We do have specimen valuations that we can show, and you can contact Brandon, and he can get over to me and get the information over to you. Also, you can call me. My number is 914-262-3955. That's 914-262-3955. And my email is cooper.don, D-O-N, cooper.don@principal.com. So I see I'm right at the 30-minute mark, and I really appreciate everybody being on the line. And if you have any questions, Brandon will be able to get in touch. Thank you again. Bye-bye.